Yo, what's up, guys, and welcome back for my third battle of Smogon Superstars, week one, where I'm paired up against 5 people. This time I'm taking on my boy Zebs, or Zebraiken. I, of course, am on this side. I'm, PokeaimMD. But, yeah, I'm using Cosign's balance team with, actually, SD, or bulky offense, I should say, team with Specs Caldeo, Defensive Tran, Earthplate SD, Dual Dance Landorus, Nastic by Thundurus, Defensive Venusaur, and Choice Scarf T-Tar. Zev has a really interesting team. That's the most I can say. He actually only has one way of dealing with my Venusaur. One really effective way. Two, I guess, if you count Starmie, but it's Heatran. Now, looking at his team, if he leads off with Starmie and I lead off with anything that's not Choice Scarf Tyranitar, it literally gets a kill. Life Orb Psychic Psy Shock will do a hell of a lot to Venusaur, weakening it. Keldeo will get bought by that. These two by the water moves, these two by the ice moves. And if I try and switch into T-Tar on an Analytic Hydro Pump, it will knock me out regardless of the Sand Boost. So knowing all of this, I decided that my best lead would be Tyranitar, because if he does lead off with Starmie, I can play the 50-50 game right off the bat and try and Pursuit Trap him. So he actually does end up leading off with his Starmie, or choose to lead off with Starmie. Like I said, it was his best lead versus me. It beat everything on my team, bar T-Tar as a lead, and I actually get the 50-50 right, and just click Crunch, and Starmie is gone. So it is 6-5, turn 1. Conkeldurr is going to come out. Now, Venusaur wins the game. Starmie being gone is one of the 2 Pokemon that can threaten Venusaur, the other one being Heatran. I do not want to switch directly into my Venusaur or my Landorus, because chances are he'll most likely go for Ice Punch right here, predicting either or. So I decided to pull a really weird switch from my Tyranitar into my Heatran. I explained it though, I don't want to risk going on to Venusaur because I have not Mega Evolved yet, so Ice Punch is still super effective. Sand is up, so I literally cannot Synthesis up, and my Landorus is offensive, so Ice Punch will KO or come really close to the point where Mach Punch knocks me out. So I'm actually going to pull a switch out into my Heatran, because I don't really need it this game. All I need it is for Stealth Rock, so I'm going to be able to go for my Stealth Rock right here, as he ended up going out into his own Heatran. Now, he fears me being offensive and clicking Earth Power, but I actually ended up going for a Taunt, as he ended up going out into his Thundurus, so I tried to prevent his own Stealth Rock. Now, he's going to land a Focus Blast, which I wish I was so lucky, as I am going to be able to get up my Stealth Rock. And right here, what I'm actually going to do is switch out into my Landorus, because I want to pivot around on this thing, wear it down a bit more, since Thundurus is one of the few things that could potentially beat my Keldeo that he has left, because literally everything else, Manectric before it Mega Evolves, Weavile, even Conkeldurr, none of them can take hits from Keldeo. Conk is the only one that's not O-code, but if I get in Manectric before anything, especially if I get in Keldeo, excuse me, before anything, especially before Conkeldurr, if I get in Keldeo before anything, especially before Manectric, before Mega Evolves, I can literally get a kill by clicking Secret Sword. That's why I wanted to switch out right now into my Landorus. I was not predicting his Heatran right here, but I got in my Landorus versus his Heatran, and Heatran's the one thing stopping my Venusaur, so I'm just going to click Earthquake. I don't care what he does. He actually ends up going for his Stealth Rock, maybe predicting me to want to go for U-Turn or Stone Edge or Knock Off, predicting his Thundurus. I'm able to clean get rid of his Heatran, and he actually realizes on the chat that he messed up right there, because now his only way of beating my Venusaur is actually flinching it to death with his Weavile. So he's going to go out to his Manectric. I'm not sure of the calc, though I am offensive. I don't think he actually KOs me with HP Ice, but I'm not going to risk it anyway, especially because I can use this as a pivot for forcing his Thundurus. What the hell is going on back there? Forcing his Thundurus to go for HP Ice, and I can pivot into something, let it take more life or damage, or even get off the Intimidate on Weavile or Conkeldurr. So I'm going to go out into my Heatran on the HP Ice, as he ends up Mega Evolving and going right for that HP Ice. Obviously not going to do anything. And now what he could do is go for Thunderbolt or Volt Switch. I don't think Volt Switch actually KOs me at this range, but yeah, Thunderbolt definitely would have. However, he did not want to be Pursuit Trapped by my Tyranitar, so I'm going to be able to get off a Lava Plume right now, as he ended up going out to his Conkeldurr, and I could go out into my Landorus right now on the Mach Punch, but there's no real reason to actually risk that. And once again, I could go out to Landorus right here and actually KO Conkeldurr right there with the Earthplay boosted Earthquake. However, I want to take this as an opportunity to Mega Evolve my Venusaur, because Venusaur can win the game, but I need my thick fat ability first, and I want to get that extra bulk so I can switch into Weavile if necessary. So gonna Mega Evolve and just click the Giga Drain, as he's going to go for Poison Jab. Maybe that's his best move to hit me. I don't know if he actually has Ice Punch. We do find out though now that he does have Ice Punch, so he's going to go for Ice Punch, or no, he goes for Poison Jab. I don't think he actually has Ice Punch, but I'm going to Synthesis up, as he's going to go for Poison Jab again, and now he's going to fire off a Mach Punch. I actually went for Synthesis just in case he wants to fire off a Mach Punch, but he fires it off there as he is able to get off a bit of damage, but I'm able to basically recover it all back as Weavile is going to come out, and his only way of beating my Venusaur is actually flinching it. However, I want it to be a bit healthier to take on his Manectric as well as his Thundurus, because even though they're not super effective moves, Flamethrower and HP Ice, due to my thick fat, they can still do some damage. So I'm actually going to stand and go for Synthesis. He had to try and flinch me right there with his Weavile. He unfortunately missed as I was able to get back up to full, and even though he needed hacks to beat me, that's still unfortunate, so I apologize. But I'm going to switch out to my Landorus just to sack it. I don't want to go directly into Keldeo, don't want to let it take any unnecessary damage, so I'm going to sack my Landorus right there. I actually made a comment, are you Blunder, because Blunder actually missed like 2 Ice crashes on a Garchomp in his small OST run, but I'm able to go out to my Keldeo right now as I'm just going to click Specs Secret Sword. Since it OHKOs this, it OHKOs Manectric, and it also would OHKO Thundurus after any damage, but Thundurus is going to come out, and even if it didn't OHKO it, it brought it down to 1 Life Orb hit, but Thundurus is going to come out, going to knock me out with the Life Orb Thunderbolt, and I kind of make a misplay right here. I calced that Life Orb Thundurus could knock me out from 75%. However, I forgot to add the Life Orb. So, had I lost the speed tie, I guess I could have potentially lost my Thundurus, and maybe could have been bad if he paralyzed my my Venusaur. I would have went out to T-Tar there, but then again, what I should have done was gone out to Tyranitar and click Pursuit, because it knocked out Thundurus at that range, and even if he went for Thunder Wave and got the full para, I could then pivot into my own Thundurus and then force him to take Life Orb plus Sand, and then just pivot around until I beat Thundurus, and then I just have Mega Venusaur versus Manectric 1v1. But in any case, Manectric is his last Pokemon. I'm just going to click HP Ice right here just to do a bit of damage. I think Thunderbolt does around the same, but it doesn't really matter, as he's going to be able to knock me out with the next Thunderbolt, as I can now just go right out into Tyranitar and click Crunch to be able to win the game. He actually needs like full paras, and even if he got them, I could potentially just switch around until I won with Sand and then just set it up again, but doesn't get the full para right there, or a para, as I'm going to be able to knock him out with Crunch, and that would be a good game. So yeah, good games up, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Finally got a win in Smogon Superstars. It really felt like I should be 2-1 right now, but I missed Focus Blast in the first game, and that's Pokemon for you. But in any case, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like if you did, and until next time, guys, later.